Yes, we are live now. Welcome everyone once again to Come Let's Reason Together. This is a platform where we discuss about marriage, relationship, as it affects the young ones, the middle class, and the older ones. So we are talking about these singles, the couples, the oldies, the young couples, and the divorcee as well. And we try to come in here, bring people that have got experience from their past relationship to come and share their journey with us so that we can learn from it. And as you know, knowledge is power. There's no limitation in the in times to learn. Within the time frame that you can learn, you learn until you can until you don't want to learn anymore. So you learn, you can relearn, you can relearn again, and then that's how you get information that is current and not just holding on to the old information that you have before. And today with me, I have two of my guest speakers. They are not new on this platform. They are friends of Come Let's Reason Together. They support Come Let's Reason Together all the time, and they try as much as possible to be there for us. And there are no other people today than our mother, Reverend Bolajoke Olukoya, who has been on this platform many times to share our experience with us. And we've been able to learn a lot from her. So good afternoon, Ma. If you unmute yourself and you do just introduce yourself to us once again, so that our people will know you, see you, even those that are joining us for the first time, those that will be watching online, they are able to know who we are talking about. So welcome, Ma. If you introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm Reverend Bolajoke Olukoya. So I love this program so much because I believe in marriage. So thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Ma. Thanks for joining us. And I'll call our second speaker today. I think by now, it doesn't need any more introduction because, in fact, I say he's one of us now. So he supports us. He supports Come Let's Reason Together. Come Let's Reason Together. We'll move on. We'll grow. And he's always been there for us. Unless it's not available, you always see him, coming forward to support this program. And he's no other person than Pastor Franklin Nwotsi Okunowo. Welcome, sir. If you unmute yourself or mute your camera and introduce yourself so that we can meet you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome to a time that we reason together, that we rub minds, and the Lord speaks with us on this platform. And I know that it across board. And I want to say thank God for this program. It's been a blessing, and it continues to be a blessing. I pray that today the Lord will even showcase His might the more, that
Amen.
people will come to the light of what the Lord is saying.
Amen.
That our coming will not be a mirage today.
Amen. Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us once again. I want to welcome everyone that has joined us today. I can see my friend from USA. Dupe, welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I know it's morning at your place, but you find it to come and join us. I'm sure that by the end of today, you'll be able to learn one or two things as well. That people can learn from you as well. Thank you all our mommies. Thank you, Apostle Jiboye, Mommy Peju Anifowoshe, Mommy Louis, Mommy Toyin Auro, Daddy Latter Rain. Thank you so much. And Esther, thank you for joining us. So for us not to waste much time again, we will need to dabble into this, today's topic. We are looking at marriage or mirage. Marriage or mirage. I'm sure by now, everybody knows what is mirage and everybody knows what is marriage. But for the purpose of introduction to today's topic, I'm going to ask Pastor Franklin to just open today's discussion for us. If you can just give us your understanding on mirage and how that relates to marriage, kind of, because I'm a novice, I don't know anything, so I want to learn from you. So go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. I just want to, maybe we start this way. The Bible says in Proverbs 14, verse 12, it says, there is a way that seems right to man, but its end is the way of death.
Mm.
And every one of us, when we go into marriage, there is an expectation for it. And we all know what marriage is, but we want to shift a bit and look at the mirage side of it. The essence of marriage is captured in the scripture. And the problem, let me say it this way. A mirage is most dangerous for one reason, not because it is false, but it looks very real. That's the danger there. The expectations, every other thing, it seems right, it feels right, it looks right, but it's not deeply rooted in truth and the reality of it. And as we go into this discussion, we'll be seeing how there's a thin line between marriage turning into mirage, and we'll see what we can do, because there are signs there. The expectations are unreal. Maybe by the way of what we have been told, of what our expectations are, that is just going to be, like we all say sometimes, marriage is a bed of roses. When you go with the mindset that is a bed of roses, you are stepping into the terrain of mirage, because there are ups and downs. Many people, they don't enter marriage blindly. They enter marriage emotionally convinced. They let their emotions talk. But even as Christians, they are spiritually unchecked. So we need to. Marriage is based on truth, is a covenant of truth. Anything that separates from that, everything that moves away from that truth becomes mirage, because we cannot manufacture it. We cannot sit and say, this is the picture that I want, and you don't walk towards it. So I pray the Lord will open our eyes today. Don't let it be a marriage that is sustained by illusions. Mirage. Marriage that is mirage is a marriage that is sustained by illusions, by things out of this world. Oh, it's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be just, no arguments, no this, no. Everything is just perfect. I pray that the Lord will open our eyes. I'll stop there.
Amen. Thank you so much. You mentioned one word there, which I resonate with, which is called illusion. That's mirage looks like, or another word that we can give mirage is illusion.
Yeah.
Whereby you think this is it. However, it is not. So I'm going to go to our mother, Reverend. How do we compare marriage and mirage? What is the difference between, that's marriage and mirage? I know Pastor Franklin said something like, it looks like marriage, but it is, the foundation is not real. The foundation is an illusion or something. But there must be something that will make someone to say, oh, I'm looking at this thing from afar. Like when we are traveling, especially in Nigeria, we are traveling, on that express road, and then it's really shining, and you can see like, oh, I have, like, there's water at the front of you, and then you get there, there's no water. Then it looks like, oh, it just looks like water, is not water. So when can a relationship, a marriage, looks like that, what will be the sign that will make us feel like this is not marriage, this is mirage?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. And I think you really let us know the meaning of that mirage. And when we look at it in relation to marriage, you see that these days there are so many mirage in marriages, unreal situation. You know, at times you see the perspective of even the person you're moving with, and you can say, okay, I'll manage, I'll manage, I will adjust. It will change. It will change. You're just looking at the mirage of that marriage, you know, when you know that somebody is not to your expectation, and you are assuming that it will change, she will change. Forgetting that when it comes to character, when it comes to foundation, it's very, very difficult to change. So mirage is something that is not real at all. But when we look at the marriage is a covenant, is an agreement between two people that you both have searched yourself, you've seen yourself that, oh yes, I can live with this for the rest of my life. But in any situation where there's some situation that you tend to say, oh, I will manage, it will change, she will change, then we are not facing the reality. And that can be a mirage in marriage.
So if I understand it very well, you're saying that people tolerate what is intolerable.
Yes.
Thinking that things might change later. So that person, which means the person that is in that position is the one that is actually practicing mirage and not marriage, if I get that understanding.
The person that is concluding in his or her mind that, oh, she will change, she's fit for marriage. Meanwhile, you yourself, you knew that this person, for him to change is when heaven comes down.
Thank you so much, man. Let us look at so that we can gain more understanding and people can really understand where we are coming from with this topic. Let's look at marriage versus mirage.
Yeah, when you look at marriage, a real marriage, ideal marriage, is when two people come together, when they have a covenant with each other, that they want to live together for the rest of their life, better for worse. But when you look at mirage, there are so many conditional marriage these days that looks like that marriage we are talking about. Like a conditional marriage, you know, oh, I'm getting no, let me just get somebody. Sometimes you don't really search deep into the partner you want to get married to. It's based on one purpose. And when it comes to marriage, it should be a loving, sharing place, a place that you need to be happy, a place that you need to live and be able to say thank you, Lord. But in mirage, it's not real. It's not real. I have a colleague sometimes that both of them were living together, but they are married, but they don't live a happy home. They are living a forced life. I believe you understand. They are living a forced life. It's like, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to use the word partner in this country, because even some partner, they still relate fine. In a situation that the guy is on his own, the woman is on his own totally, then it's a mirage. It's not real.
Thank you so much, man. we're still gonna stay on this comparison so that people will understand that, because if they understand the comparison between marriage and mirage, then people can actually figure it out to say, look, so I've been actually living in having a mirage of a thing that I called marriage. I don't know whether you understand where I'm coming from. So if we are looking at marriage and we are looking at mirage, what is marriage? We know that marriage is built on vows, isn't it?
Yes.
Marriage is built on love. which is agape, however we want to put it.
Yeah.
It is built on sacrifice, which means when they say their vow, they are saying for better, for worse. What about Mirage? What is Mirage built on, Pastor Franklin?
Mirage is built on expectations that are unreal. And Mirage, let me put it this way. Mirage survives on distance. With Mirage, the closer you get, the more the faster it disappears. But in marriage, the closer you get, the better it becomes. So your closeness in marriage brings out the betterness of who the two of you are. But with Mirage, like the picture you gave, when you are driving, you see like a glass of water in front. You keep seeing it, the closer you get, it begins to disappear. So that is the danger of Mirage. It takes your time, it consumes your energy, it consumes your expectation. Not until you get to the tail end of it that you will now realize that it's not what it's supposed to be, that is not actually there in the first place. So we need to be careful. Like that's why I said Mirage thrives on distance. Don't get close. Mirage survives. The closer you get, the faster it disappears. That's when you now say the expectations are actually not there. But one would have spent 10 years, 5 years, 6 years in the marriage. And now you realize that, oh, well, there is nothing there. But with marriage itself, the closer you get, the two of you, the better it becomes. The closer, the more real it becomes. You'll begin to see what you can work on and what you can mend, what you can adjust, what you can contribute together to make it work. But with Mirage, you are driving, you are still looking at it. Then you'll begin to see, oh, 1 kilometer away, I can see that thing that looks like water there. Then about 500 meters away, wow, this water is not there. Oh, that man is not what he says he is, or that woman is not what she says she is. Oh, I think she was sweet talking. It was sugar coating everything that they were saying. They were telling you, don't worry, in 5 years, I'm gonna be I'm gonna build this, I'm gonna build that. What you don't see them doing, passion without principle. You see the passion of the person there, but they are not principled. And you keep going, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You see desire without direction. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. The closer you get to it, you are seeing that it's not actually getting better. And you see their commitment without character as well. So you need to be careful. There are things you see. You will see the passion, you see the desire, you see the commitment, but look at what follows it, what coupled with it. They are not principled. They are not, there's no direction and there is no character.
Thank you very much for that. Wow. But this can be actually, I look at this particular area of discussion and I can see that it's a little bit complicated kind of, because at what point will I know that I enter one chance of Mirage and it's not actually marriage? Because I don't, you know, because I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself,
when it's too late.
Because at the beginning, what all the feelings that we are supposed to have to actually say, okay, I want to get married to this person because it makes butterflies to jump in my tummy, you know, that kind of a thing. You know, I have feelings for him. You know, we, you know, everything I want about this person, he has it. He is tall. He is this. Are these all mirage? So if these are all mirage, what should I be looking for somebody that I want to get married, that I want it to be like, this is marriage for me? What should I be looking for in that person that it will not complicate my life, that I'm entering mirage?
I think Mirage has got nothing to do with the person's height. It's got nothing to do with their look. It's being blinded to the reality.
Mm.
So if, for example, you have like I said, we have somebody that is passionate, but they are not principled. And you overrule that. You see the passion. You see the man run out of their car, open the door for you. Hey, my darling, come down. When you are dating, when you first got married, and you love that, you like him, like I tell people, why is it just on the wedding day that the spouse, the wife, kneels down to give you food? why why is it that why is it that day? At the moment you get back home, they are standing to serve you your food. Even if they do it for a short period of time, they change later on. A man that runs to the door to open the car for you, and you see that, oh, this is what they have been doing all along, and just all of a sudden you see them turn around and say, oh, please, you see them get out of the car and they are right through the door, and you are still waiting for them to open the door for you. And they turn around and say, come on, darling, you can open the door yourself. And you start realizing, oh. So the problem is always going to be, it's realized when it's late. When you've gotten to where there is no going back, or you have to go back. So it's always Mirage brings it to a late point, because not until you get very close to what your expectation is and you can't find it, that you will realize that it's a mirage. So that's when they ask you questions, you are saying, no, it wasn't like that last year. It wasn't like that 2 years ago. It wasn't like that. But they were all along like that. You are blinded to what they were doing, because you are expecting something that is out of this world.
Yeah, I want you to also look at that mirage that we are talking about. It's like what you want, like you are seeing it, but the more deep the relationship is, the more those things disappear. The more you can't see it again. Just like the example that Pastor Franklin gave. There are so many things that can follow, that can give us signs. But it's only that you can't really be sure until you are in it. Because the more you go inside it, the more you will know the type of person he is. Human being, we are so deceitful a lot. That's why even the Lord says so. No, once they want something, they can go to any length, and you will think you are getting the right pattern. But the more the relationship is increasing in year, the more you will know that this is the type of person this man is, this is the type of person this lady is. You will now bring out the real color. And at that stage, if care is not taken, to fall out will be difficult, or maybe something that you have to pay for it.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much for that contribution. I've got some, because when I was doing this research, there are things that I was seeing and I was like, but I wouldn't call this one mirage if I don't gain this understanding. Okay. I mean, I would think these are norms of, somebody wanting to get married to someone. These are the things that you're supposed to actually see. But then I'm saying that what this thing is telling me is most of this thing. Let's look at the wedding and marriage. Let's look at wedding. They're saying that wedding is what we see as mirage, and marriage is what we see after the marriage has been completed. After the wedding day has been completed. I don't know whether Pastor Franklin wants to actually elaborate on that.
Right. With wedding, you see all the sweet things. You see the people, you see the gifts, you see the merriment, you see the glamour of the ceremony, the cake, the exchange, this and that. Everything on the day of the wedding they are just like a fairy tale, because people have come together to put this and that, and you have spent so much, you want to make it look good to people.
Mm.
But the moment the wedding finishes, the marriage starts,
Mm.
you begin to see the realities. It's like you one goes and borrow money to do the wedding. The marriage will bring together how to pay it back. Because the moment you get back, you settle into the marriage, you will be, how do we pay back? And they will be like, oh, we shouldn't have spent that much. But when you were doing, have you seen people on their wedding day, how happy they are? They will dance, they will smile, they will jump. People will give you all sorts. But the moment you get back into your marriage, the reality sets in. So marriage, everyone enjoy themselves and go. They leave you together to eat. So it's now, that is the time you now begin to see who you really are together. So my wedding is for everybody. Marriage is for the two of you. But if you go into marriage with the illusion of what the wedding presents, then that is where the problem starts.
Mm.
Everyone, you see it like it's like a celebration every day, ceremony every day. But the moment you leave that, you come into the marriage, you begin to see that, yes, it's not like that anymore. But if you still have this understanding of this, the way the wedding is, that's the way the marriage is going to be. That is an illusion. That is mirage. Because things will be shedding off bit by bit. You'll begin to see it bit by bit. And that's where the reality of life comes in. And it will be, oh, why didn't you tell me that before? But you know it before. You enjoy the wedding. So you have to enjoy the marriage now.
So okay, thank you so much, sir. I'm going to go back to Reverend. So let's take, for example, new young couple that wants to get married.
Yeah.
They will have some expectations of how they want their marriage to look like. Right. But how will they now identify that this journey that I am actually, trying to journey to is a mirage and is not marriage? Will that be in their discussion, their action, their thoughts, the way they think, the way they see things, the way they perceive things? I don't want to go to social media because that one is a no go. Because if you look at that one is, for me, most of it is mirage. I'm not going to say anything.
So fake.
Few of it might be right. That will end where they will have their marriage, and they will have their wedding, and they will continue with their marriage. Maybe if their foundation is actually placed on the word of God. However, most of these young people that we'll see, they only understand this wedding that we are talking about. Oh, I was reading, I don't know whether it was my daughter or something, but we were reading one article, and maybe they were showing me, and these people spend like 100 million, was it 100 million naira or 100 million? I don't know. I don't want to say pounds because that would be erratic. But we know that people spend money.
Spend a lot for wedding.
On wedding. So at what point will they know that what we are entering, this thing that we are signing, is a mirage and it's not a marriage?
Yeah. I would like to say that if you look at our children these days, they are getting more exposed and more knowledge. Because there are so many fake relationships. There are so many characters that they are able to detect. But because they want to get married, because they want to satisfy parents, most of them at times rush into it. But if you notice some of them, they will tell you, no, I prefer to stay single than to rush into marriage. Because wedding is just an event. It's just something that will come in a day and go. But when it comes to marriage, it now deal with how you both are going to live together emotionally, physically, spiritually, how you can blend with each other. Someone that told you that, I'm going to do this for you, immediately you start seeing so many characters coming out of him or of her. You have known that you have entered into one task. And character is something that is not easy to change. It's not easy to change. One can blend. They can be going to, I'm going to see her today. Just try to patch up, do a lot of things to amend their speech. There are so many words that they can be saying just to let the lady or the guy to know that I'm involved. But deep down, they know that they are not. In such situation, it's like a mirage. It's false relationship. And the more they get closer, the more their relationship is increasing, the more they will be seeing it, and this thing will be coming up. But for them to follow will be a difficulty. But if you are wise enough, once you see 1, 2, and you see that you can't tolerate it, it's better to opt out. Or else you just find out that you are in a mirage relationship and not in a marriage relationship. Because mirage is a fake life. It's not a trustworthy life.
You know why I'm a bit confused there? We know that what we are looking at now is that we know that now that mirage is an illusion.
Yes, an illusion.
But illusion that actually seems right. Because a young person will have their dreams. So let me put it that way. They will have their dreams. A divorced woman or a divorced man that wants to go and marry another person, we have the dreams that he or she wanted. Obviously, he will tell you that if you ask him, he will tell you that, oh, there are some things that happens in my first marriage. I don't want it to be like that again. And as we are looking at this particular topic, we are seeing that some of the things that they said happens in their first marriage, they are all mirage. They're not marriage. And then you are going into another one, you are carrying another dreams in your head. This is what I want. So at what point should we now sit down and say, I want marriage? And when we say we want marriage, what is real marriage? What should we be expecting? If I marry somebody now that, at the point I want someone that will look after me, will make me, will take me to the moon and bring me back.
Mirage.
And I get there. There is no moon. There is no taking back. There is no bringing me. What do I do?
Go back to you see the point. The point is, there is chemistry and there is character. Chemistry will excite the body. Character secures the future. When you go into marriage, for example, the young ones, and even now, some of us, we do give these unrealistic advices, measuring marriage or relationship on sex. Sex is what sustains it. And if you look at it in the real sense of it, and we are talking real now, in a day, in 1 week, we have 24 hours in a day. How many hours do you spend having sex? If it's less than an hour, 23 other hours, you are spending it together to do other things. You are not majoring on those things, but you are hammering and anchoring your relationship on what you will do for 30 minutes or 1 hour. and move on from it. If your expectation is this is what sustains a marriage, you are not thinking about all the body chemistry. I mean, the body composition. You are not thinking about the age aspect of it. You are not thinking about some other things you are going to do in life. And if you anchor it on that, and the moment that one is not there, people that have this understanding of this illusion, they will think it's not working. The expectations, whatever we put there. You are going into a marriage with the understanding that your partner will be looking after you. Are you sick? No. There will be a point where you will be pampered, but you cannot turn yourself into somebody now that will be looked after 24/7. What for? So the moment the man is thinking about another thing or the woman is thinking about another thing, you are looking at how you are going to build your life together. And now you are saying, no, they are not, it's not what you expected. No, there are expectations, but there are expectations that are not real. So it's the way you sell it out to people, the way you start it off. You can't base everything on your body on chemistry. That chemistry will only excite your body. It's the character that will build your marriage and your future.
Wow.
And I will just chip in this. When it comes to a situation that maybe you see or you complain on an issue, I'll say, oh, I will change. It will come the second time, I will change and you will change. And you are not seeing the changes. Then you need to know that you need to be careful. You need to be alert when it comes to characters, behavior. Someone that cannot keep to his words. Someone that cannot really emotionally take care of himself. You need to be careful. These are Marraige in marriage. Oh, I'm coming. I'll be back in 10 minutes. And you go even a whole day, 24 hours. And you're not complaining. And when you complain, I will change. The next day, it's going to repeat the same thing. It's going to repeat the same thing. So once we can view this, even during relationship, it will get to getting married to such thing because you will have seen it that this is a fake life.
Thank you so much, Mams and Sir. Can we still stay on this single dating, single young people?
Yeah.
What is that red flag that people ignore because it looks like it is right? For a young person, they will see all the, whatever they want to see because they all program whatever they want in your head. I don't know whether a lot of people have read Cinderella, that the prince stripped from their, stripped her from her feet, and they live happily ever after. I think that is the dream of all our young people. They want to live happily ever after. I don't say they should not live happily ever after, because that's the prayer that parents will pray for all their children. But today we are seeing things in another way, in another form. So what red flag should they be looking for that it looks like, oh, this is right, but then it's not right, it's mirage? I don't know whether any of you can pick it up.
Yeah, one of it is what I said. If someone is saying that, oh, I'm going to change, and you're not seeing that changes, you need to be careful.
But mommy, before it gets to change, before the person will get to change, they will know each other somehow. Yeah. Because you cannot know all his characters immediately that you've met him or met her. So that word of changing might not even come that early, because obviously I have never seen, unless that person is taking small, you will see them wanting to go and speak to a girl, and they will carry their own food. No, they will always speak with sugar and honey in their mouth.
Yes, I know. They come out trying to place the lady trying to entice the lady, but in their character, in their aim, they are not real. You know, it's somebody, just like somebody that doesn't have a building and he came to a lady, oh, I just built a 4-bedroom flat. And it's not real. And you know, the funniest part of it, he can take the lady to one of his brother's building and say, oh, this is the building. Mm. Or maybe he has a key to it. He can open the one of the flats. Try to like be boasting, want to build pride. And that's why I said our ladies, our guys, they need to be very careful, because most of our men are sugar-coated mouths. They have sweet talks. That if you are not careful, you will fall into such things. And you'll be thinking, even if you catch him once, you say, oh, no, it just happened. If you don't really decide, you can continue like that. Wow. And the more you see the marriage, the more problems start showing up about the guy or the lady even. Because there are some ladies now that they are very, very terrible. Very, very.
Thank you so much, Ma. Pastor Frank, did you have anything to say to that question too?
I think with all that has been said, there are times where we know, we sense it, but we live in denial of it because of our need, our greed that has turned into our need. You see a man, for example, a woman that is very attractive, and you look at that attraction, and you've forgotten that the attraction is not only the only thing that is needed in them. And you cannot assess any other thing apart from that thing you see that looks beautiful to you or handsome to you. You just want to be, oh, this person is presentable. When I take them out, everyone will be looking and say, oh, yeah, you've got a very good person in looks. But you've forgotten that it goes beyond their looks. And the moment you start going out, you begin to see that. But sometimes all these red flags are there. You can't assess them, but you see the attraction there. You see the chemistry. You don't see their character. It does not marry, it does not align with what their character should be. The chemistry is there, touch you, oh, peck, give you a peck on the cheek, do all this, open the door for you, make you sit down. And sometimes you see all these things and yet you are still in denial of it. And right from the onset, sometimes the expectations are there, but you can't see the truth of those expectations. A man or a woman that will not keep to their time or to their words right from the onset, and you are thinking, oh, it will get better. It will get better. Don't worry. You are building a mirage for yourself because you have seen it. Not until you get there, you will now know that you cannot change them. But sometimes all the red flags will see. But because of the illusion that we have, I remember back in those days, there is one song that is called Illusion then. And we dance to that song. We jump to it. When you go to a party and that song is sung, everybody, illusion. You come out, you sing. And that's the kind of thing we are building unknowingly. So sometimes we see the red flags, you know the red flags, but you begin to explain the red flags every time rather than dealing with the red flags.
Thank you very much. So my question now is, would we say that most marriages that ends in divorce could be the foundation of the problem. Are we going to be right to say that some of these marriages that end up that way was because it was built on mirage?
Yeah, if I will answer that question, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Some of our marriages are built on it because thinking that the person will change, thinking that as time goes on, it will blend to my side, she will blend to my side. But at the long run, you find out that instead of getting better, it's getting worse. You know, when it comes to character, just like I said earlier, it's not easy to change. You can pretend, but the reality will be showing up occasionally. But if you don't take note of those things, it will get to a stage that you will not be able to accommodate it. You will not be able to tolerate it because you will now find out that it is real. It's not that it's not the person that he is. It is now real. This is the real person that he is. It's not a guy that goes to pop house or to clubhouse every time, and you find out that you've been complaining. Why don't you make it only a weekend? Yeah, he can tolerate you. The moment you get married, you find him going there every day after work. I have to socialize. That's where I get my project, my contract. Start giving all sorts of flimsy excuses. So at times, most of the times, we close our house to reality just because we want to get married. And at the end of it, when it gets deeper, we may not be able to tolerate it again. And that's what leads to divorce.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. I'm still asking question on trying to establish the difference between this marriage of a thing and this mirage of a thing. So if we want to, like, I want to advise a young couple coming to me to say to me, I want to get married to so and so. I want you to pray about it, because of course we will pray about it, but there are some things that we have to be practical about. So if I want to tell this person to test whether that relationship they are having is leading to marriage, or is a foundation of marriage, or is a foundation of a mirage, what would I be asking that person to say, to check? What would I be telling that person to do? Because when I was reading, I think one of the things that I read was the fact that which we always see, when a couple or a married couple speak to another married couple, maybe the women are now talking, and one is having problem in her house, within her family, and then she's seeking for support from the other woman, and then that's when we will add, myself and my husband, we don't fight. We never have any argument. Everything is peaceful. So if your own is having argument with you, I think the best thing you can do is just to leave him and go. So if that person is naive and is vulnerable, she will start dwelling on that, and possibly she might end up taking that decision. Whereas that decision was not right, and the advice given was not right. So we can say that, look, this is a mirage, because she wasn't fed with the truth. So in this aspect that we are looking at, what would if a young couple or young girl comes to you, Mom, I've seen somebody that I want to marry. How would you ask her? What would you tell her? Or how would you ask her to test that relationship to be sure that this is marriage and not mirage?
Yeah, if any youth comes to me, I would let them know that what are the character of the guy or the lady. The character is very, very important, and even the foundation, the parent line. Some of us, we can dictate the type of children. Even in our home, we can say, oh, this my girl is this my boy is this. So foundation of the person is important, and their characters is very, very important.
Mm.
And if a guy is the person that you've seen that he has lied to you like 2, 3 times, you don't just wave it. You need to do something to it. So find out that is it real or that is who he is. As I said earlier, there are some characters in even the man and the lady that they cannot change. They cannot blend. If you are deceiving yourself, you say it's when you will say, oh, he will change later, she will change later. But it's very, very difficult unless there's God intervention. So changes is not easy. So for anybody that comes, I would try to tell them, you have to know the character, the behavior, the foundation. Try to know who he is. It's very, very important. Does he keep to time? Does he keep to what he says? Is he a principle-minded person? All these things are real. They are facts. Because if you just go and get married on the expense of, I want to get married, without getting there 1, 2 years, everything is off. I've seen a marriage that doesn't last more than a week. One of my colleagues, a week. Yes. And they're so fond of each other. And what is the main reason? Because they are both in care guys, that's those days. So they could not really dictate. They see a lot of things that is like a mirage in their marriage. Oh, but all this, it will change, it will change. So all these things that we overlook during courtship should not be overlooked. We should vet inside. We should try and know and make our conclusion. It's better late than never. When it's late, it's better than when you go and marry into a wrong relationship and go into fire. I pray God will help us into such.
Amen. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for that. Pastor Franklin, values are borrowed, not owned. I'm sure you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the aspect of somebody that wants to get married now, and she knows that Sister Kate is actually going to so church. And then Brother Paul started going to the same church because Brother Paul wants to target Sister Kate. Right? And once they get talking, once they get hooked, Brother Paul gets hooked to Sister Kate, then it becomes, no, you can't go to that church again. How would Sister Kate identify that this Brother Paul is lying, no, is not what he says he is? Or it doesn't have to be till they now get married before Sister Kate will now realize that this is another one chance.
You said Brother Paul doesn't do what?
Brother Paul doesn't go to that church. But because Brother Paul wanted Sister Kate, he started going to that church. But the moment then, they get married, obviously Brother Paul will say, no, you have to go to my church. You can't go to your church again.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget that Brother Paul went to Sister Kate's church and started going to that church because he wanted Sister Kate. But a normal person like Sister Kate, how will she identify that, look, Brother Paul is lying? Or this tongue that Brother Paul is speaking, it's just a mirage. Must she enter that marriage before she now realizes that, no, this is not what I bargained for? Because what we are trying to do now is for young people to spot it before they enter it, if it's possible.
Now, Brother Paul went to the church probably because Sister Kate won't date anyone that doesn't go to their church.
Absolutely.
So now, Brother Paul going to their church is not the problem. The reason why I'm saying that is he can go to their church and still be a man of integrity and character. He can be a member of that church if he wants to. But right from the onset, he must not lie that it belongs to that church when he's not a member. So as long as Brother Paul is a Christian, and even though he's got his own church, and when they now started going out, there must be courtship. In the time they are courting, there will be an exchange of this information here and there. If somebody comes to a church, you must know them in that church. If you don't even know them, it's a very big church. There will be some qualities in them that will bring the iota of truth. But because you don't really want to know, what you are looking for is somebody that comes to your church. That is where the problem starts. You are not looking for a man of integrity or a man of character. You are just looking for a man that comes to your church. So that is one of the issues with Sister Kate. And I pray that because my general overseer, my previous general overseer and his wife, they are Paul and Kate. So it's the expectation that is based on illusion that Sister Kate wants. You want somebody in your church. So anyone that fits the bill of being in your church, you will go for, rather than look for a man after God's own heart. So there are issues there already, where she set expectation. And your church, there are sometimes there might be tendencies that you will change church. So if everything is inked on being in your church, you might migrate to another city. You might migrate to another area by the reason of buying properties or moving or changing works, and you change. What will happen then? So those are these things that we start looking for. You are looking for chemistry rather than character. So when the time for change comes, the end of it is the two of you are no longer in that church anyway. So the foundation or the thread that binds the two of you together to Sister Kate is the church. And Brother Paul came to the church because he wanted Sister Kate. And after getting what he wants, he can pull her out and say, let's go out to another church. So all these things are there, but because of this unrealistic expectations, we build a wall there from the onset. So all these things are there, but then you say, oh, then no, what you told me then was wrong and blah, blah, blah. Yes, what he told you then was wrong because you wanted somebody that comes to your church and that came to your church. So it's setting clear-cut understanding from the onset.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Let's look at another area of, let's look at these narcissistic people. Would you say that most of them, they practice mirage and not marriage?
Absolutely. And the kind of mirage is actually it comes with deadly actions. There are some mirages that you see a mirage that will take you to where where you are expected to be water, but there is no water. So you see a few things there right from that time. It's deceptive. It promises you what it cannot provide. That's the mirage there. But with narcissistic people, they will punish you till you get there, and at the end of the punishment, you won't get the water. They will turn you into who you are not. They will make you, even when you get to the water, where you get to the end of it and you can't find water, a narcissistic person will turn it upon you that is actually you that wanted water. They are not the one that promised you water. So rather than holding responsibilities, they will turn it against you for you to be the one that will be regretting, or you will be the one at the receiving end. A narcissistic person will make you feel the weight of what they have actually brought upon you. And they will turn it around to make you feel the weight of the guilt. So with narcissistic people, you will see from their action. They can hold you by your neck until they get you to where the end of the story is. They will make you believe every other thing that you don't want to believe. In guilt. They will make you believe it in regret. They will turn themselves into victims. That I didn't want to say it in the first place. You are the one that made me to say it. I didn't want to tell you that the future is bright. You are the one that made me to say that. I didn't want to tell you this and that because you're asking me every time. So that is another bowl of fish on its own. Narcissistic people.
Yep.
That is a double jeopardy.
Wow.
For you to be in a mirage and now be with a narcissist. That is a big blow. Because it's the highest level of confusion and regret that you can ever have.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Thank you so much. Okay, we are still talking about, marriage or mirage. And I want to open the floor for other participants that are present here today. If you have anything to chip in while we are having this discussion, maybe you have an experience, or maybe you have contribution in one way or the other as a counselor, as the head of the church, that you happen to counsel some young people or even married people, because people that are married, that are in the, that they are counting 20, 30 years, they are still going through these things. It is now that they are realizing that I am married into a mirage environment, and it's not really marriage. And they are trying to look for solution to their what. So if you have anything to contribute, please unmute yourself by raising your hand. You can raise your hand and then we will mute you, and then you can contribute, or you can use the chat room to give us some support so that people can learn from your own experience. I'm going to go to Reverend. As a counselor, because I know you are a counselor as well, what is the number one mirage that you see in premarital counseling? Or if you want me to call our Father Global Ministry to contribute before I call you in. What do you say, ma? Unmute yourself because they are muted.
Oh, sorry for that.
So do you want me to call Global Prayer Ministries, sir, Daddy, or do you want to go in first?
In fact, I was struggling with it. Sorry for that. So both I can't even really.
Lisa, let me call Global Ministry. Let me call our daddy first, then you can come in. Unmute yourself, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mommy Sherry. God bless
Thank
you.
you, Daddy Abi. God bless you, sir.
And I want to appreciate Daddy Franklin and Mommy Bola Joko. It has been an instructive teaching. God bless you, man. God bless you, man. I have a couple of experience, or let me say a couple of situations that I truly need advice. Number one, I have a couple that they see me as mentor. They have this challenge. The husband have this challenge between with the wife. Ever since they've been together, the spark was on. I thank God for the life of Pastor Franklin, that's mentioned about chemistry. Many couples are chemistry driven. If there's any English for that, you know, the chemistry is what. So along the line, we don't know what happened, that the wife just lost the fire, lost that zeal for prayer, passion for prayer. She lost everything. And coupled with that, they have a challenged child that they are trusting God, and we thank God for improvement in the life of that young lad. So, but the thing is now, the guy is fed up. Even that so-called chemistry, gone. Everything is gone. They said, the guy always said that he has never been disrespected in his entire life the way the wife is disrespecting her. Despite the fact that, and this is not a lie, because I've tried as much as possible to have the conversation with them. She will not. The guy is the one cooking, cleaning, says he dare not think about food when he's coming home from work. He dare not. Making a provision. Sometimes in my own little way to support, okay, get her this, have a conversation with her, try this, try that. Say, Daddy, if you see the way she honor the family, oh my God, he said, so you have this attribute in you, respect, honor, and say, I'm tired of this, I can't take it anymore. Now, I've been praying, and I said, call her one more time, or you start to call or be on the phone, that you only know this me, that you just say, oh, Daddy, I'm with her now, and this thing, everything, every effort that is a mom is. I really need advice, because they are just young couple, maybe 5 or 6 years into their marriage, and this is happening already. The girl, okay, she doesn't want to be going to church anymore. Okay, she doesn't like the guy's church. Okay, choose a church. We'll be going together. She chose a church very close to their house. The first time they went to the church, she just left in the middle of service, took her daughter, left. The guy was like, what else do you want me to do? If you don't love me, just say it. She would just be muted. So how do you advise? Because I think this is thank God for this topic. This is a mirage from the beginning. Because how do you met? They met in a bank. One of them is working in the bank. I can't remember anymore now. One of them is working in the bank. That is first scenario. Number 2, there's a couple that they are the edge of divorce now, because the guy is tired. The woman, we can't blame. She have never experienced loss of child in the family. In their family, nobody gets pregnant and lose a baby. So that experience, Daddy Franklin, she could not pull herself out of that situation and just accept the fate. No, going to 3 years now. So, and the guy is suffering for it. The guy is suffering for it. They go for multiple counseling, their own church in Nigeria. They have done everything. The guy is suffering for it. They are both career couple. The guy is not suffering for it. That I lost a child as well. I try as much as possible for that one as well. How do we do this now, sir, mommy?
Thank you so much, sir. So I don't know whether Pastor Franklin will respond to that, and Mommy Reverend Balajuku.
Anyone?
Yes, go on, ma.
To look to the second one, I think the woman needs like a counseling. It needs to be like a therapy. That's the way I can see it, because emotionally she's really distressed and lost hope. So she needs to be brought back, to be brought alive before she can continue. Since there is no one that has lost their children in the family, and she's facing that trauma now. So she needs counseling, she needs therapy, and she needs prayer so that she can be herself. She can move her head. I'll just stop on that. I know.
Mommy, I'm sorry, my mommy. Sorry to cut you off. All this has been done for 3 years. She was 1 minute she will be quiet. I mean, like it's over. But the next, in fact, it's not about 48 hours. She's back again to herself, you know. So the guy is getting fed up that, Daddy, I'm going to file for divorce. I can't take this anymore. She's not looking after herself. Can you imagine? No sex for that 3 years.
Mentally, she may be affected. You know,
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
PSTD.
Yes. She may be mentally derailed that she needs therapy for because she can be herself. Because this mental health is just an inch. Once it switch,
Hmm.
to come back is very
Hmm.
very difficult. So that's why we try to encourage ourselves on our well-being. So she really needs a therapy concerning her mental health issue because I believe she must have, there must be something that must have affect her mentally, and that
Hmm.
she's behaving like that. So
She will
for
say,
her,
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay for goodness sake. Why do you guys think something is wrong with me? I'm okay. But your husband is suffering for this.
counseling and therapy.
Okay, mommy. Thank you, ma.
And the first one, let me just chip in a little before Pastor take over. I don't think I remember. Can you take over, Pastor? Pastor.
Franklin, you want to answer the first question?
Yeah, the first one, I think sometimes when a relationship starts, there are things that we don't think of. Those are circumstances in life that will come to shake our faith. Now, with the send child, I say send because we say send, SEND, special educational needs and disability. That's what we call them.
Yeah.
So now there is a weight of that happening on the relationship.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes there is this hyper focus on the child. They need the support, they need every other thing. But parents approach it in different ways.
Yeah.
Now, there might be a parent that will be, is probably like fight or flight. There will be one parent that might withdraw, looking at what should have been, what could have been, what might have been. And the other one is approaching it in a way that, well, this thing is here and is real. So let's deal with it. Then one gets tired and say, it's only me doing this. I can't do it anymore. And don't forget, the two of them never bargained for it. So when it happens, there will be chronic stress. There will be, are you fighting it or you are running away from it? So where the woman is or the man will be thinking, oh, there's a lot of things to be done. There are certain things, and sometimes I say that artificial religiosity can take its effect as well, where we are not dealing with the situation and we are getting over spiritual and over religious about it. These are things that we need to process. These are things that we need to work towards helping. These are things we need to know that it's not somebody's fault, but is what we have. And we know that the Lord will see us through it. So there are so many things. If we are not careful, we have seen people divorce because of having a child with special needs.
Absolutely.
And there will be pointing of fingers. Maybe it's your genes, maybe it's this and that. Everyone thinks they are perfect. And it makes them withdraw. And don't forget, psychologically, if, for example, I'm not sure the one that you gave an example of, sir, if that person is the first child, the last child, or if it's the first child, there will be anxiety about having another one.
That's true.
What is going to happen? And linked to the first story, or the second story is the same thing the woman is going through. The woman is going through the process of birth and the process of childbirth. What you do before you get pregnant, and you're thinking about it. After all that I've done, she lost it. And she will be having this inner subconscious. What am I having this sex for? If I have it, what's the essence of it? We've done it, it resulted into something that we have lost. So sometimes we get to that point and post-traumatic stress disorder is there.
Yep.
It have its toll on it. It will come back. We need to, it's therapy, it's counseling, it's us being able to get closer to God, not to withdraw from man. The husband is looking at it from the point of, I need sex. And the woman is looking at it from the point of, oh, what about all the ones that you have done? You are turning me into what? It's an object of sexual gratification or whatever. You can't feel my pain. She's still feeling that pain. She needs time, even though it's been too long. But she needs time, she needs counseling, she needs guidance and direction to face it. What telling her that what you are doing is not right is not going to solve the problem. Because you are telling them the obvious. Tell them something different. Tell them how we can walk this journey together. What support do you need? Okay, let's do it in another way. Let them start having micro dates. Let them go out and talk about let them take 10 minutes out in a day and begin to talk about some other issues apart from the loss or from the child that needs support. Let them focus on themselves some minutes in the day. These are therapies that we need. No matter what we do, we need to come back and say we were once like this. When issues of life comes, we must not be like this. But sometimes the mirage there is you are looking for everything perfect.
That's it.
There must be no ups, no downs, nothing whatsoever. It must be perfect. And that's where the problem is. So when anything happens, it brings its own toll on them. I can feel for these two cases. They are very genuine cases and very, very special cases that they have no faults in there. It's just the way that they are processing it, the way they are approaching the whole thing that is different, that they need help. And sometimes we need to have people that are professionals or that are experienced in that line to help them.
Yeah.
Don't limit it. If they go to a church, don't limit it to the pastor alone. The pastor does not know it all. There are people that you are blessed with around you that you can tap into their experience and say, can you help me counsel this person? Can you help me do this and that? It's not about the pastor to have the solution to every problem.
Absolutely.
The Lord has blessed you with people that can be a solution to a problem that is around you. Pastor knows a bit of everything, but they don't know everything.
So they need an expert to step in because the lady is definitely suffering from PSTD.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing now. That's good. That's what I'm doing now.
Well done.
Thank you.
Sir. So let's look more of this therapeutic way of supporting people with this mirage of a thing. So my question now will be, what is that one practical habit that can kill mirages faster? Let's say you enter it, but now you want it to become a marriage, you want it to work. So what is one practical thing that you can do to actually kill that marriage and that mirage in that marriage, or any form of mirages? Because mirages, Shepherd Abe has just mentioned some of it, that issues of life will step in and then they cannot stay, they cannot wait because their dreams have been shattered. What they are hoping for has been shattered. Same thing will be somebody that you marry with two eyes. Something happened somewhere, the man became a blind man. Your hope is shattered. So right from the onset, we can see that it's a mirage, because what he wanted was that the man to have his two eyes, be able to do everything and everything, but this is not happening again. Or maybe he's got two legs, something happened to one of the legs. You cannot cope, because what I've read going through this research is that when things happen, they can't sustain it. They can't sustain it because that's not their dreams. They want a perfect life. So anything that will shatter that perfect life, they are not comfortable in staying. They become anxious and they want to leave. So what is that one thing that can kill mirages in marriage that people can actually do? Or let me put it in another way so that I join the two questions together. Okay. What can a marriage do to recover after a mirage shatters their dreams? What can it do?
I think when it shatters them, that means they've come to the end to realize that is actually not what they thought. The first thing they need to deal with is unrealistic expectations. You need to step back from that. That is not all beds of roses. The best of them all go through circumstances in life. So the moment you cut off the unrealistic, it doesn't mean you shouldn't have hope. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be expectant. But there are certain things that are unrealistic that you need to deal with. And you need to come back to yourself and being truthful to yourself. You cannot be the hero. You can't change anyone. You be the change you want to see, so that everyone, the two of you, will be on the same page and say, this is what we are facing. This is what will happen. This is what can happen. This is how we work together towards achieving this goal. It's not one person sitting down and say the other one will be my whatever in shining hammer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And I'm going to come to Reverend Ma. So, as a reverend, obviously, you lead a church, and this is going for all the men and women of God. So, what do we say when we are counseling couples who married fantasy and not that person? Even before they now go into it, how do we counsel them to say, look, these are the things that you're supposed to be looking for, not this? Because there is a saying that said, not all that glitters are gold. Because when things are glittering and glittering, you think they are gold, they are mirage. So when you want to counsel all, some of our young people, or even people that want to remarry, because it's not only single people that are listening to us. Some people have tested it. Maybe they went into that relationship, they went into that marriage thinking that it was a marriage, but it was a mirage, because their expectation was not aligning with the marriage. Although some of them will come back to tell you that the expectation of the righteous shall never come short. But then, if your expectation is above or is not aligned in alignment with that marriage, such a thing will happen, because then you now realize that this is not the type of man I wanted. I wanted the man that can do this for me, that can do that, but forgetting that the man might not be able to do everything for you. Okay, if the man is going to do everything for you, what are you going to do for the man?
Yeah, when it comes to all this counseling about marriage, it's one of the counsel that is a big tactic, because marriage is something that you cannot predict. You don't know what's going to come up in the future. So it's very, very difficult to counsel. But what I would just say is that when it comes to marriage, you just have to have some certain mindset. This is my home. I and my partner has to work it out together. Both of you have to be on that platform. If one is out of it can be a bit difficult. But if the two of you agree that anything that comes up, we have to solve it together, then it will make the marriage to be more real. Because this marriage that we are talking about, the more you move closer, the more it disappear.
Mm.
The more you move closer, the more it disappear. Once both of them can accept their defeat and their good characters and live on it, then it will make the marriage to be successful. But if you want to be acting immediately on what you are saying, there will always be a confusion in the house. There will always be a complaint in the house. But if they can work hand in hand to solve things habitually, it will help them. But the mindset is what matters. This is my home. And even as a child of God, if you can have it in mind that God hates divorce. I know there are some divorce that are real, that are needed. But if you have the mindset of that, it can help. And when it comes to it's leading to all these violence, domestic beatings, then you can have another talk. So that's what I can say on that.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for that contribution. I just quickly want to go to Pastor Franklin.
Have a question.
Are you saying something, Ma?
No, someone has a question here.
Yes, go ahead, Ma.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, good afternoon, Daddy.
How
are you, sir?
Yeah, my first question is this. That these are children now these days because they claim to be Christians.
Mm.
They marry each other.
Mm.
Nothing done before marriage. On getting home, they find out that the husband is impotent. That's one. Another one is they married each other from Nigeria, got to London, and the wife changed and become a lesbian.
Oh.
What do you tell those?
Do we call that Mirage? I don't think that's
that is the first one. The relationship is based on deceit.
Mm.
And that marriage does not stand.
Yeah.
He was not impotent because he got married. He was impotent before getting married. And these are conversations they need to have from the onset. You need to be naked and not ashamed. You are starting a journey of life. Your impotency can be turned around. I've had situations like that. I had somebody that wanted to go into a marriage, and the lady came out to say, you know what? They said I don't have the fallopian tubes or whatever has been removed or something like that.
Mm.
And the man said, we will go into it together. Today they have 2 children.
Hallelujah.
But the woman said it from the onset. So the moment you cover it up, it's a marriage that does not stand because it's based on falsehood. You go to any area to divorce, you will be supported 24/7, 100%, because there's no marriage there. You lied your way in, and you're going to lie your way out. You trap that person. And the other one, the person becoming a lesbian, why is deeper than that. It's not just because they came to UK. Because there are people in UK that are not lesbians. This is one person out of hundreds or thousands that comes into the UK. We need to go deep down into the root of the problem. How did the relationship start? What are the red flags of lesbianism that the man would have seen? Even if she has been covering it up, there will be some instances where you will look back and say, oh, there is something wrong somewhere. So the only thing we can say is they have an enabling environment in UK to practice.
Mm.
But it was in them before. They would have been doing something like that. How long when they got to the UK did they start it? You just don't wake up one day and say you want to be a lesbian. No. You must have tried it. You must have enjoyed it. You must have believed in it. You must have thought, oh, this is the way to go. There are so many people that does that here. But it's a matter of the fact that it's not something that just happened. And you can't blame the man or there are things, there's a mirage there. The woman is probably the man is looking at some shape, some characteristics when they were dating or when they just first got married. They look at chemistry more than looking at the character. And now the character is exposed. And, it's no, I mean, it's got deeper than that, sir. We need to really dig deep. Oh, yeah, we deal with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Looking at the outside features, leaving the characteristics away. The lady has been showing some characteristics, but he never picked it. Until when they got to UK, that the lady was able to express her real characteristics. Because of the freedom here.
Yes.
So it's just I'm just asking that question because of the youths that are listening.
Yes, yes.
Well,
thank you so much, sir, for bringing that on board. Thank you, sir. I'm just quickly going to read what is in the chat room, and I'm going to employ Apostle Jiboye to please explain this better for us. He said, I recommend 2 important tests before marriage: the mirror principle and the student principle. So if your prospective spouse does not see you as his or her mirror, don't marry him or her. Secondly, if he or she does not see marriage as a school for learning more and developing more, don't marry him or her. That person who believes that they know or it or will be revealed as a narcissist. Do you want to explain more on that for us, please?
Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you to our brilliant panelists, Pastor Franklin. Thank you so much for always delivering. And thank you to Reverend Bolajuko also. God bless you both in Jesus' name. So I'm looking at this. I've been listening, I've been following, and it just keeps coming to me that a lot of times the mirage that people experience in place of what should be a marriage is often caused by a lack of discernment. When we are not able to discern, because marriage looks a lot like what Yorubas call Oja Okuku. You want to buy a market that you are not, you don't have all the details of. And I always like to tell Christians, especially Christians, because that the person who instituted marriage is God, and God is spirit. So that means marriage itself is a spiritual institution. And I think that's part of the reason why the world is in trouble when it comes to marriage. People are driving at marriage. People are approaching marriage from sensual parameters instead of thinking that the person who started marriage is actually God, and God is a spirit. So if God is spirit, then that means that whatever it does has spiritual origins. And that's why Jesus Christ said it was not so from the beginning. So the reason why I recommended these 2 tests, I called one the mirror principle, is that if you are going to be with somebody and the person never listens to you when you are saying, don't wear that, it doesn't look good on you, or you are telling that person about some kind of behavior or some things you observed, and the person does not listen, then that's a very terrible red flag. It's a terrible red flag. The person, I think this is very real. It starts from, you should practice it more when you are still talking to each other at the talking stage, before you even go deeper. You can just look at something and just mention it, and then you look at the person's response. You can't miss that reaction. It's always very obvious. And I'm not saying doing this sensually. I'm saying whatever you are doing, you should be doing it prayerfully. Okay. Then, secondly, is what I call the student principle, because our people always says that Igbeyawo is what is the school. A marriage is a school where nobody actually graduates, but you go through it, you learn. Even when you are in your 40th year of marriage, you are still learning something.
Absolutely.
And that's the truth. I'm sure those who have done 30, 40 years will tell us more, that they are still learning every day. So if your prospective spouse is not teachable, I don't think that's something that is hidden. It's something that you will have noticed even at the talking stage too. If you are intentional about some of these things, you will observe them. So when people say, I didn't notice anything, it's not always true. It's because the mirage was what carried you away. The mirage, physical attraction, sexual intimacy that always happens most of the time before marriage, it always happens. And whenever you bring sexual intimacy before marriage, is a terrible thing, because it's not allow you to see. You will not see the things that you should see, because you're already technically married to that person. So it's good that you observe these two things. If the person does not see you as somebody that can tell them, oh, this does not look good on you, this is not good, watch it. Secondly, if the person does not see marriage as a school where they too are also going to learn, then they will not be a good companion for you. I think that's my thoughts on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for them.
And just to say something to that.
Yeah.
Every young person going into relationship, we always have this phrase or this saying, I'm looking for the right person. I think with the mirror principle, look at yourself in the mirror and see whether you are the right person. Stop. You can't get the right person if you are not convinced within yourself that you are the right person. The person you see in the mirror, is that person right for you? So it's not you just looking for the right person. Are you the right person? So we don't lose that conception. Thank you,
Apostle
Ojiboye. God bless you,
sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. So I know we are rounding up now, but can I just ask this question now? When we look at the book of Ephesians chapter 5, what is the relationship of that chapter, or how does that chapter confront our cultural views of romance? And that will be part of our, a rounding up question. And any of our fathers can answer it, please. Because we are looking at marriage, we are looking at mirage. And everything, when we look at it, romance is the key factors. I was counseling a couple last night that came to me for, actually mediation or something like that, yes. And I was saying to them, look, there is this thing now that I personally do, and I want them to take it on board as well. Because that both of you will not kind of step on each other's toe, that is a lie. You will always step on each other's toes. But when you step on each other's toes, how do you react to it is what we are talking about now. And for you to react, you need to ask yourself, if I step on Jesus' toes, what will Jesus do? If I step on Jesus' toes right now, what will Jesus do? Will Jesus scold me? Will Jesus tell me that, oh, go, just get it behind me? Will Jesus tell me that I don't love you again? If Jesus cannot say that, then you need to start practicalizing what Jesus will do. Because he has already done it for us. He gave his life for us so that we will have this, we will enjoy this salvation that we are enjoying. This, this grace that we are enjoying is because of his death. So why can't we do that to each other? And I bless them because they got the drive I'm trying to, place before them that, look, everything is about communication. Everything is about love. Everything is about endurance. Everything is about tolerance. Because if this man we call our Father can do all this for us, how much more all of us that we call ourselves the children of God? So that's why I'm asking this question, because this is about church now. There is no way we can rule church out from marriage. It's not possible. It is not possible. But maybe we need to do more. So all these things that, bringing cultural perspective into it, bringing this one. What did Ephesians told us about romance? And we will close today with that discussion. Thank you so much.
I think the book of Ephesians is mainly on love. woman to submit and the husband to love his wife. But what I've just noticed in marriage is that we have to have a heart of forgiveness because we will wrong each other. And the ability to accept, to forgive is very, very important. And you know, especially in this country, to say sorry for some people is very difficult. When you are wrong and you want your home to be peaceful, why not say sorry and let there be peace? But for some people, it's a very costly word today. But we have to be able to say sorry to each other, to appreciate each other. Thank you, and have a heart of forgiveness. I'll just limit it to that for us to have a peaceful home. We will wrong each other. There's no way we'll not wrong each other. But once he is be able to say, I'm sorry, let us just move on.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Pastor Franklin, let me just put another icing, whatever, on that cake so that you can respond to it. So why I'm asking that question is this. We're talking about marriage, we're talking about Mirage, right? So if it happens that people started their relationship based on Mirage, they realize it. So as church, one of the things that we'll be telling them is what Reverend have just said to us. So what other things can we deduce from this thing to tell these young people or married couple or divorcee or those divorcees that wants to get into another relationship, that they went into Mirage and now they want to go into another one? Their expectation is high. You know, they are looking for this, they are looking for that. Oh, whatever I didn't get in the first marriage, I must get it here. Who said that? I don't know. So please, as a church, what should we be saying?
That's a pitfall. If you're coming from one marriage and you say whatever you don't get into the other one, you won't get in the other one, you will get it in this one. I think the first thing you need to deal with is whatever I did not give in the other one, I will give in this one to make it work. And that's it. The first thing is to name the mirage. Look at your past, name that mirage, because everything has a name. Where did the axe head fall? You have to know. Once you know that, you will be able to. And you have to move to radical truth telling. You have to be very radical about the truth. You need to let yourselves know that this thing is, you have to be real. You have to say the truth. You have to make it work. Going into another relationship, you look at the pitfalls of the other one. Don't look at, that's why when people talk about relationship and they're blaming the other person, I always look out for what they are going to put on themselves, that this is what I did wrong. The moment that person has got nothing to say they've done wrong, you know it's a lie. Because whether verbally or non-verbal, you would have done something to exacerbate the whole situation. Then you move from transactional relationship to relational relationship.
Yeah.
You have to be relational. Don't look for what you will get, what you will get, what you will get. Oh, I'm going to, my husband is going to look after me, this and that, this and, yeah, they will look after you. But if that is what you are looking for, then you will be sick every time so that they can be looking after you. So you have to be real. You have to let it be, what are you contributing to it? You have to share, you have to have a shared vision. Write the vision, make it plain, so that the two of you will understand whether it's a mirage or not. Because you won't think the same way. If you write the vision down, if you name it and you talk around it, the other person will be saying, this one is not, we're not going to achieve this the way we are going. No, this one is not what we are looking for. Then because you have something to run with, all this one will be there. So we need to be very careful. And you have to, another thing that, let me say this. There is this, how do we call it? You have to dismantle the sacrifice competition. Where you think you are sacrificing, you are sacrifice more than you sacrifice more than me. That's why I tell people there is no 50-50 in marriage. It's 100-100. If you stick to the 100%, when there are lapses, you won't make it open for the enemy to come in. So by the time you make it 50, you are looking for the flaws in the other person not to fulfill their 50, to make it 100. But if you give 100, everything will work accordingly. But dismantle the sacrifice competition. Oh, I sacrificed more than you. Oh, you didn't do this. Oh, I did that more than you. No, do what you have to do. Every other person, there's a Chinese proverb that says if everyone will sweep the house, the front of their house, the whole street will be clean. So let everyone take responsibility. Know where the accent fell in the first relationship. Don't come into it thinking you will be compensated for it. No, you are still going to work harder, double the work you did in the other one, so that everything that went wrong there won't go wrong in this way. And every young one going into relationship know that it's not bed of roses. There are responsibilities there. There are things that you have to do. You don't just, the way your parents dealt with their marriage is not the same way you're going to deal with it. The common denominator for marital counseling is the Bible. Every other person will tell you according to their experience and their resilience. But the Bible will never go wrong with you. If you follow the Bible, you will stand the test of time. It's enough time for the mirage. Let's feel the reality of life.
Thank you so much for your contributions. And here we are going to end today's discussion. I want to believe that today people will have gained understanding around what marriage is and what mirage is. So this mirage is an expectation, on necessary expectation that we hype ourselves, that this is what I want to do, this is what I'm looking for, this is how I'm going to do things. Even though, apart from marriage, we do that in our lives as well. That's in 2 years' time, I want to build 10 houses. I want to do this. Living a life of mirage that is not realistic. And I think when we take that to our marriage, so what happens when your expectations are not met? Then it becomes a problem. And that's when we see all these divorce cases running from, going around there and there. Let me just close today's discussion with a video that I watched about 2 girls that were going on the streets, and they were hyping each other. They were feeling big with each other, living a life of mirage. And they wanted to show that they are there, they have cars. And this car that they saw on the road was not theirs. There was a man sitting in the car. They didn't know that the man was sitting in the car. So both of them were thinking alike. Like they were thinking alike. I want to show this girl that I am big. I'm a big girl, big Lagos girl. So the other one walked past the car as if, she wants to go and enter the car. Before you know it, the other one just entered the car trying to see whether she can just use that car to pose for the other girl. The man was sitting down there. So the man was like, what's going on here? Before you know it, the other girl too went through the passenger seat and sat down. So who owns the car? Living a life of illusion, fake life that is not worth it. And when we take that to marriage, it doesn't end well. So we need to know what we really want in marriage. Are we going to marriage because of our feelings, or are we going to marriage to make it work, to make it a home for us, to let God walk through that marriage, and let Satan be put to shame? So I want to thank all our guest speakers that came in today. Pastor Franklin, Mommy Reverend Marraige Or Mirage. Thank you so much for joining us today again. We appreciate you always, and we thank God for the wisdom God has given you, and we pray that oil of wisdom will never run dry in the name of Jesus. I want to thank all our participants that have showed up again. I recognize our father, my father, Daddy Tunde Shoile, that joined us today after a long time, because I know he is a very busy man. So I appreciate you actually giving me that time out of your tight schedule to come and listen to us. God bless you, sir. God bless Mommy Akiyemi, my shepherd's wife, because I know you are there. I want to thank Covenant of Transformation. I want to thank Daddy Latter Rain. I want to thank Evangelist Joel Adegoke, even if you are not saying anything today. Evangelist Olaoluwa Kayode, thank you so much. And Daddy Kayode, I know you are at the back of the camera.
God bless you.
Thank you, Mommy Louise. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, everyone that are all hands. I can see you, Mommy Adelusi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma.
Dupe, thank you so much for
Okay.
joining us all the way from US, even though you are supposed to be sleeping now. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless everyone. I will see you in 2 weeks' time when we will come back and have another broad discussion around marriage. So before we end today's teaching and discussion, I will want one